up, y'all? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Zoe, and today I'm super excited because I am doing a Christmassy video. I am super excited for today's video. When I was thinking about holiday Christmassy content I wanted to put out, I didn't really have any ideas, and then this idea kind of just popped into my mind. It's definitely possible that someone has done this before, and if they have, please link their video down below. I did search but didn't find anything quite like this. I know that Gabby from Gabby Reads definitely has done something similar, but I haven't seen anything Christmassy like this done before. So today I'm going to give you holiday/Christmassy book recommendations based off of your favorite holiday/Christmassy movies. Before we get into that, I really quickly wanted to share with you guys my newest favorite addition to my book nook. You may see it hanging behind me. It's so cute. This company reached out to me called Mapiful, and they sent me this beautiful star map that I am in love with, like absolutely in love with, and I wanted to share with you guys. Basically, this company called Mapiful is a place where you can go online and create either a map or like a star grid of a place and a date and time. So, for example, what I made was a star map of the night that I got married, and it's so cool. So this is literally what the constellations looked like the day that I got married, where I got married. I'm obsessed with it. It comes with the place and the date and the coordinates, and the quality is so great. I literally am so in love with this. I wanted to share this with you guys because I feel like this makes the perfect holiday gift, especially for someone who is really hard to shop for, like my husband. He is so difficult to shop for, you guys, but it's okay, we make it work. But I like to give him sometimes some sentimental things as gifts. He really does appreciate those, and they're really fun because they last a long time. So I want to share with you guys really quickly how you can go online and make your own map. So if you head to the Mapiful website, right when you get on the website, you'll be able to click on design your own. This will pop up, and you can either choose classic, which is like any town that you want to see the map of, or that star map, which is what I used. So I'm going to show you guys what it's like to do the star map. Go ahead and click on design star maps, and it'll take you to the page to make your design. Okay, so once you get to your design, it'll give you just kind of like a general thing, which is why it says Paris. But say I wanted to go ahead and do Green Bay, Wisconsin. There it is in the drop-down menu. Just click on it, and look at it uploads. This is on September 10th, 2019 automatically, but I'm gonna go ahead and change the date to when I got married, which was July of 2017 on the 2nd. And the map automatically updates to show you the design of that time and that date and that place. And then you can also change the style, which I went ahead and did really easily to the asphalt one. I liked the navy personally because navy was actually one of our colors for our wedding, so I just had to get the navy because it just made sense. You can also change the headline, so I wanted to add Wisconsin to it. And then when you're all set, add it to your cart and check out. And then they send you this beautiful star map that you have for the rest of your life. They also offer these really cool poster holders. I love the navy and the stars, especially because when I got married, navy was one of our colors, and constellations/stars was actually our wedding theme. So this is just extra special. I'm in love with it. It makes the perfect holiday gift, and I'll have a link down below if you guys want to check it out and make your own. I'm obsessed. It's the best thing ever. Moving on to the video though, I'm gonna go ahead and give you guys holiday/Christmassy book recommendations based off of some of mine and your favorite Christmassy holiday movies. So let's just go ahead. Some of these are a little bit literal, and you'll see what I mean in a second. So the first book that I'm going to recommend is based off of the movie It's a Wonderful Life. I love this movie so much. If you haven't seen it, it's a classic Christmas holiday movie. It's a little bit sad, it's a little bit intense, but it's just so good. It has a wonderful message, and I love it so much. I watch it every year. If you love this movie, then the book that I recommend you pick up is The Greatest Gift by Philip Van Dorenstern. So this is actually the book that did inspire It's a Wonderful Life. And when I was researching for this video, I didn't actually know that there was a book inspired by the movie, but there is. And it's so pretty. It's really tiny. This one I got off of Amazon. It's only like 38 pages long. It's really short, which is actually really nice because I know that the holidays are really busy, so this is such a great one to pick up. I bought it for myself and cannot wait to read it. There's some cute little illustrations in the book as well, which I'm really excited to get to. It's just a gorgeous book, honestly. So yeah, if you're in the mood for a very Christmassy, touching, warm story, I recommend picking up The Greatest Gift. The next recommendation that I have is based off of the movie Love Actually. This is actually not one of my personal favorite Christmas movies. I have tried to watch it multiple times but just can't get through it for some reason, but I do know that it follows the stories of a couple different people falling in love around Christmas time, and for that reason I picked the book My True Love Gave to Me 12 Holiday Stories, which are by a ton of different authors, and it's edited by Stephanie Perkins. This one I know has actually been read, I think, by a lot of people. Like I said, it's an anthology that has 12 different Christmassy stories that are about love during the holidays, which sounds so cute. I have actually not read this yet. I'm going to buddy read it with my friend Liv, and I'm super excited. I cannot wait. I think I'm actually going to take this on a trip with me because it's the perfect thing to just pick up and read a story when you have nothing else to do. So this is my recommendation. If you love Love Actually, then you should definitely check out My True Love Gave to Me. The next recommendation I have is based off of a movie that is a little bit controversial, whether or not it's actually a Christmas movie, but it is The Nightmare Before Christmas, classic Tim Burton movie. I love it. I actually kind of like to watch this one during Halloween, but it definitely works for Halloween or Christmas. This movie was actually a little bit difficult to find a recommendation for, but I'm really excited about the book that I found for it. The book that I recommend you pick up is The Valancourt Book of Victorian Christmas Ghost Stories, edited by Tara Moore. Oh my gosh. Okay, just check out the cover, first of all. It's literally like a Christmas tree with a bunch of skulls and stuff. This is a collection of ghost stories that were published during the Victorian era because it was popular back then for people to publish these ghost stories and read them around the campfire during Christmas time, which is just so weird. I love what it says on the back. It says, during the Victorian era, it became traditional for publishers of newspapers and magazines to print ghost stories during the Christmas season for chilling winter reading by the fireside or candlelight. So these are 13 different Christmassy ghost stories that you can read during the Christmas time. So if you like Tim Burton, if you like The Nightmare Before Christmas, something a little bit more dark, this one might be a really good recommendation for you to pick up. The next book that I recommend you pick up is, if you love the movie Christmas with the Kranks, then you should definitely check out the book Skipping Christmas by John Grisham. This book, again, was actually the book that inspired Christmas with the Kranks, and if you haven't watched that one yet, oh my gosh, please do. It's so classic. It's with Tim Allen. It's so funny. It's when a couple decides that they want to skip Christmas this year. They would rather go on a cruise. They don't want to deal with Christmas party. Their oldest daughter has moved out and they just want to skip the holidays altogether. But that turns out to be kind of a disastrous situation when the town gets upset with them for skipping Christmas, and then they try to hurry and make it all work. It's so funny, and the book is just as funny. I really want to get to it this season as well. The next recommendation I have is based off of the movie Home Alone. That is my husband's favorite Christmassy movie and one of mine as well. It's so fun to watch. I love Home Alone. And the book that I recommend you check out if you like Home Alone is The Green Glass House. This is by Kate Milford. I know that I have talked about this one recently. You guys are probably really sick of me talking about this book, but it's just the perfect wintry read. It's a middle grade that takes place in an inn that's called like the Smuggler's Inn, and it follows the story of this little boy who lives at the inn with his parents who own it. And all of these different kind of curious smuggler type people start showing up around Christmas time to stay at the inn, and some hijinks happen. It's really fun. It follows the story of the little boy just like in Home Alone, and I think that this one is just a really great, like, family-centered, mystery-centered, like, hijinks, atmospheric read. It's perfect for the holiday season. I totally recommend it, especially if you live in a place where it's snowing. It's just so great. The next recommendation I have is for The Polar Express. I love this movie so much. I loved the book growing up, and the movie, they just did such a great job on. The book that I recommend if you love The Polar Express is The Christmas Train. This is by David Belladici. I have not actually personally read this book yet, but I really want to. As soon as I read the synopsis, it reminded me of The Polar Express, and I definitely plan to read it this season. It follows the story of a man who is traveling during the holidays holidays on this train, and it sounds like he's a little bit bitter towards Christmas and the holidays. He ends up being on this multi-day adventure on the train. Some adventures ensue. He starts to rediscover the meaning and joy of Christmas, and it just sounds so cute. I think it's the perfect companion to the Polar Express. If you love that movie and that story, definitely check out that book. My next recommendation is based off of one of my all-time favorite holiday movies, but also just one of my favorite movies ever, and that is The Holiday. I love that one so much. It's such a great movie and it just makes me smile. I watch it every year. I love it so much. If you love that movie, you should definitely try picking up One Day in December by Josie Silver. I have also talked about this book recently, and I'm sorry if you don't want to hear me talk about it again, but this is a great adult contemporary romance that follows a girl who doesn't believe in love at first sight at all, except for one day she's on this bus and she locks eyes with this guy who is sitting on a bench outside, and she knows that he is the one. And so for the whole next year, she spends trying to find this guy to no avail. She cannot find him. The next year at a Christmas party, her best friend shows up with her new boyfriend, who happens to be the guy that she locked eyes with. And it's so good. It ends up following them for a couple of years, what happens during that relationship. Just the romance aspects of both the movie and the book remind me so much of one another. Characters that you really love and feel invested in and that you want to see have happy endings. Ugh, all of the good, just cozy vibes. I definitely recommend checking this one out if you love The Holiday. The next recommendation that I have just gives me all of the nostalgic vibes. This is one that I grew up on. I absolutely love. It's like making me emotional just thinking about it right now. But if you love the movie Santa Claus is Coming to Town, so good, the claymation one. Oh my gosh, just all of the feels. It follows the story of Santa and his life, and it's so good. But if you love that movie like I do, I strongly recommend checking out Letters from Father Christmas by J.R.R. Tolkien. So this is a book that I stumbled upon that I get like emotional just flipping through it. It's J.R.R. Tolkien's letters to his children during Christmas time, and he's Father Christmas. So he's pretending to be Santa in these letters that he sends to his children during Christmas time, and it's just so heartwarming. It literally has like actual photographs of his letters in them, as well as just like some of his drawings, which are just absolutely stunning. I'm trying to find a good one. He sent this picture along with a letter in 1920 to his son as Father Christmas, and he said, like, here's a picture of me, and here is a picture of where I live. I hope it's focusing. But just like so nostalgic, so heartwarming and cute, and it just reminds me all about Santa Claus, and I love Santa Claus. I totally grew up on believing in Santa Claus, and part of me still wants to. I just think that this is so cute. If you love the movie Santa Claus is Coming to Town, I think you'll really, really like this book as well. The next movie and book recommendation that I have is a little bit of a stretch, maybe. I feel like it works, but if you really love the movie The Santa Claus, the classic one with Tim Allen, oh my gosh, another one that I watch every single year, I really think you should consider reading The Deal of a Lifetime by Frederick Bachman. So this cover, I know, it does not scream Christmas at all, but this book does take place around the holidays. It's another really short book. It's like 60 some pages, and it also has really cute illustrations. I'm trying to show you. It's got like full page color illustrations on some of these things. Just so, oh, look at that. I love it. I'm obsessed. But this follows the story of a father who is recounting a story about a girl who is in a hospital during the holidays who has cancer, and he's telling this story to his son. But the story ends up turning into him also sharing about his kind of mistakes as a father, his business triumphs, his life in general, his hopes for the future. And it says that on a cold winter's night, the father has been given an unexpected chance to do something remarkable that could change the destiny of this little girl that he was originally talking about. But before he can make the deal of a lifetime, he must find out what his own life has actually been worth, and only his son can give him that answer. And so I think that there's a lot of like father-son relationship that is talked about in this book, which kind of reminded me of the Santa Claus because I remember how the father and son kind of had some rough times and not always understanding each other, and I just thought that this book really kind of was reminiscent of that, and I think that this sounds like a really touching story, kind of like the Santa Claus is, and yeah, I think that it's the perfect little book, again, to pick up during the holidays, especially if you like the Santa Claus. And then the last recommendation I have is based off of another classic Christmas movie, and that is A Christmas Carol. If you love A Christmas Carol, I have two recommendations for you, actually. The first one, I think you probably have already guessed it, but it is The Afterlife of Holly Chase. This is by Cynthia Hand. This is a really cool cover, first of all. So this book is actually kind of a Christmas Carol reimagined retelling. Let me quickly read the synopsis because it says it way better than I could. I always butcher the synopsis of this book, but it says, on Christmas Eve 5 years ago, Holly was visited by 3 ghosts who showed her how selfish and spoiled she'd become. They tried to convince her to mend her ways, but she didn't. And then she died. Now she's stuck working for the top secret company Project Scrooge as the latest ghost of Christmas past. Every year, they save another miserly grouch. Every year, Holly stays frozen at 17 while her family and friends go on living without her. So far, Holly's afterlife has been miserable, but this year, everything is about to change. So it's about this girl who's basically stuck in the afterlife, being a part of this Christmas Scrooge where they are the 3 ghosts and they try to get someone to kind of change their ways during the Christmas time, and it's just so cute. This is a really good book. I read this earlier this year and really liked it. A story about redemption and character change, and Holly is very selfish and mean, and she doesn't realize that the things that she does, how they affect other people, and I don't know, I just really enjoyed this book a lot. It's definitely reminiscent of A Christmas Carol, so I really recommend trying out this one. And then I have one other recommendation for that one because I know a lot of people have already read Holly Chase, so the other recommendation I have is Mr. Dickens and His Carol. This is by Samantha Silva. So this is a book that actually follows Charles Dickens as he just published a new book and it's a total flop. The critics have turned against him and his relatives hound him for money, and while all of this is going on, his wife is planning this lavish holiday party. During this time, his publishers are also blackmailing him to write this Christmas book that could help save them from financial ruin. He is obviously very frazzled and frustrated and upset, and so one night he goes for a long holiday walk in London. During this walk, he ends up meeting someone named Eleanor, who ends up befriending him and propels him to go on this Scrooge-like journey. It sounds like he ends up kind of having this self-discovery journey, maybe re-understanding the meaning of the holidays. I love it. It sounds really interesting. I love the setting of London at that time and during the holidays, and then Charles Dickens himself going on a Scrooge-like journey. Like, it just sounds so interesting, and if you love A Christmas Carol, I think you might really like this book. So those are all of the recommendations I have for you guys. I hope that you liked this video. I really liked putting it together. If you have any good book and movie recommendations, please let me know in the comments below. I'm definitely looking for more holiday specific recommendations so that I can read during December. So yeah, please tell me down below. I love hearing from you guys. I hope that y'all have a wonderful rest of your day wherever you are. I love you, and I will see you soon in my next video. Bye!